So y'all know how when Black Panther had came out and everybody was on that Killmonger quote, like bury me in the ocean with my ancestors who jumped from the ships because they knew that death was better than bondage. And all the Black Americans was like, yeah, that's a deep quote. And I just was like, the whole time, never was on that quote. The whole time I just was like, but if the people jump from the ships and die, then I wouldn't be here. So, yes, but it's going to be a no for me, dog. They can be my ancestors because they could be my uncle or whatever, but they not going to be my great great grandfather or grandmother if they, you know, unalive themselves. So, I was really never on that quote. Then, people was doing the anti-hero thing, but I'm like, he willing to kill all of us for what he want to do. Like, are we not? Is nobody else is noticing this? All right. But I'm in a book club and we were reading Enslaved, and during our discussion somebody made a good point where they were saying how when our ancestors were on the ships, they had absolutely no context to where they were going. So if you cannot guarantee what is going to happen at your destination, then maybe you'll take matters into your own hands. And so that's the first time where the perspective of that quote kind of shifted for me, where it's like, yeah, I still believe like the people that fought are the reason that I'm here, but I had more perspective on how the unknown and the confusion, I never thought about the confusion. Because if you take, and this is not the same, but when I moved to South Korea and I came from the orientation, went to my city, toured around Gwangju with my co-teacher, and he dropped me off at my apartment. One, I made sure for him to write down where I lived in Korean because I know I'm bad with directions. So if I leave my neighborhood, I need to know how to tell somebody to get me back. So I made sure he wrote down where I was in Korean. But I remember sitting on my bed and thinking, I am just a dot in the middle of this country, and I don't know where I am in relation to anything else. Because in January of 2009, if you had told me that I was going to be living in South Korea in August of 2009, I'd have called you a bold-faced liar, because that's how kind of quick of a decision it was for me. I didn't have this long desire to live in an Asian country or in Korea. It was informed decision, but it was a quick decision. And so just imagining how I felt when I was sitting on that bed in Gwangju, South Korea, and then going to my ancestors and our ancestors and all those African people who were on those ships in dire situations and not knowing what was going to be for them at the end, it gave me more perspective into why somebody would, jump off a ship rather than wait until they get to their destination and they have no idea what was going to meet them at their destination. So yeah, I get it a little bit now.